The story of Menglong's death has already shaken the nation. But what is unfolding now is even more chilling. It is no longer just about how he died, but about how those closest to him are being silenced. While the official version of events remains that Yu drank too much and tragically fell to his death, questions never stopped swirling. Suspicions of foul play have only grown stronger with each leak and each new piece of evidence. And now, his grieving family and his former girlfriend Xing Fei are living in fear as a campaign of intimidation has been unleashed against them. What truth is so dangerous that it requires beating, harassment, and threats to ensure no one dares speak it aloud? In the weeks following the forensic revelations about DNA evidence and suspicious substances in Yu's bloodstream, his family began receiving anonymous phone calls. At first, they were simply unsettling, late-night ringing that would stop when answered. Whispers that could barely be heard. Sometimes just silence on the other end of the line. But soon the calls grew darker. Voices warning them to stop speaking to the media. To stop questioning the official narrative. One call reportedly snarled, "You want to end up like him? Stay silent, or you will." The phone never stopped ringing. Sometimes more than 30 times in a single night. Each one a reminder that someone out there was watching, listening, and determined to break their will. Stop at calls. The family reported letters shoved under their door, scrawled in red ink with messages like "forget him and do not talk." Neighbors whispered about strange men in dark coats loitering near the building, smoking cigarettes in the rain, up at the windows before disappearing. One relative was shoved violently in the street by an unknown man who muttered, "Keep quiet." A rock was hurled through their window late at night, shattering glass across the living room floor. A broken stick was left leaning against their door, as if to symbolize what might happen if they disobeyed. The pressure campaign was clear: silence or suffer. Yu's mother, already devastated by the loss of her son, reportedly collapsed under the stress of this constant intimidation. "We cannot live like this anymore," family insider told reporters. "We hear footsteps outside at night. We get calls from block numbers every day. And now we are even being hit in the streets. We are terrified." Another family member confided, "We don't sleep. Every noise outside feels like they're coming to finish what they started. We are prisoners in our own home." Attacks escalated further when one of Yu's cousins was struck with a blunt object while walking home. He required hospital treatment for a head wound but refused to give interviews, likely out of fear. Witnesses say 2 men in black fled the scene before police arrived. The family believes this was no random assault. "Clear warning. They want to erase him twice," a shaken relative said. "First his life, now his memory. They want us to shut up and move on. But we cannot." Yu's ex-girlfriend, actress Xing Fei, has also become a target. Paparazzi first noticed she was being followed by unmarked cars after leaving a film set. Soon, she began receiving anonymous text messages: "Stop asking questions, you are next. And we are watching you." Her management company immediately hired private security, and Xing Fei filed a formal complaint with the police. In her statement, she described feeling as though she was constantly under surveillance, with strangers waiting near her apartment, cars tailing her at night, and messages threatening her safety. "I feel eyes on me all the time," she told a friend. "I don't know if I will make it home safe." Authorities took her claims seriously. The Beijing Municipal Public Security Bureau confirmed they are now providing 24/7 police protection for Xing Fei. Officers have been stationed outside her apartment, and she is accompanied to film sets by a rotating team of guards. One police source admitted, "This is no ordinary harassment. These are credible threats, and we cannot take chances with her safety." There is evidence to suggest attempts at abduction were being planned. The idea that one of China's beloved young actresses could be kidnapped to keep her silent shocked the public. Even under protection, Xing Fei remains shaken. In a leaked message to a close friend, she wrote, "Can't live like this. I am scared to go outside. Scared even when I am home. I feel like my life is no longer mine. I just wanted to grieve. But now I am trapped in someone else's game." Her management company released a brief statement calling on the public to respect her privacy and confirming that she is cooperating with police. But they refused to discuss details of the threats. It's only fueled more speculation that something much bigger is at stake. So who is behind this campaign of terror? While police have not named suspects, insiders hint at powerful groups with much to lose if the truth about Menglong's death comes fully into the light. Once again point to the Yuntai Cultural Investment Group, the shadowy conglomerate rumored to control contracts and careers in China's entertainment world. Their name has appeared in leaked reports and financial records tied to you, and now many wonder if they are orchestrating the intimidation. This has the fingerprints of a syndicate, one investigative journalist said. The phone calls, the violence, the surveillance, it is systematic. It is not the work of one angry person. It is organized. The family, the fear is suffocating. They want justice for you. But the cost of speaking out grows heavier each day. A family spokesperson explained. Want the world to know what is happening. We want people to know that we are being silenced with fear. We cannot do this alone. Their pleas echo across social media, where fans demand government intervention and protection. Hashtags like Protect Xing Fei and Justice for You have gone viral, shared millions of times by outraged netizens. National outlets have picked up the story, framing it as a chilling campaign of intimidation that sounds more like a crime thriller than real life. Yet real life is exactly what this is. Real fear, real silence forced by violence. Police presence is stronger now, but the threats remain. With each passing day, the question grows louder: what truth is so explosive that it requires beating, stalking, and threats to bury it? If Yu Menglong simply died by accident, why must his family and ex-girlfriend be terrorized into silence? What are they so afraid will be revealed? The nightmare did not stop with phone calls, broken windows, and anonymous warnings. If anything, campaign of intimidation against Yu Menglong's family and ex-girlfriend Xing Fei only escalated in the weeks that followed. What began as harassment quickly spiraled into physical violence and psychological terror, leaving those closest to you trapped in an atmosphere of constant fear. It is as if a shadow network has decided that silencing grief itself is necessary. That mourning must be policed with fists and fear. And while police have stepped in with visible force, the question remains, who is bold enough to threaten a family under watch? And what secret is so devastating that it must be buried at all costs? Yu's family described the onslaught in words that chilled reporters. His father, speaking briefly under anonymity, admitted, "Like prisoners. Every knock at the door makes us jump. We don't answer unknown numbers anymore. But the phone still rings. Over and over, every night." His voice cracked when he added, "We lost our son. Now they want to take our voices too. What kind of monsters do this?" Neighbors have begun to confirm what the family has whispered for weeks. Unknown cars park outside the building at odd hours, sometimes with engines running for hours, sometimes with headlights trained directly at their windows. When approached, the drivers speed off into the night. "Feels like we are being watched all the time," a relative said. "We are not safe inside. Not safe outside. They want us to suffocate in fear." The most frightening incident came when a brick wrapped in newspaper was thrown against the family's front door. On the paper, scrawled in red words, "Stop talking." The symbolism was unmistakable. Silence was not being requested, it was being demanded. They immediately contacted police, who increased patrols around the home. Yet the attackers remain faceless, elusive. Always one step ahead. They want us to know they can reach us anywhere. Second cousin admitted. Meanwhile, Xing Fei's ordeal has become the centerpiece of media coverage. As a well-known actress with millions of fans, her vulnerability resonates across the country. After filing her complaint, she now lives under constant guard. Police officers rotate in shifts outside her building, while her management has hired additional private security. Still, she admits the fear has not left her. Leaked audio message to a confidant. Her trembling voice could be heard. "I feel like prey. Every time I walk outside, I feel eyes following me. Every time a car slows near me, I wonder if it's the end. I can't sleep. I can't eat. I don't feel alive." Her words have been widely shared, sparking outrage among fans who see her as the latest victim of the same dark forces that took Yu Menglong. On Weibo, hashtags like Protect Xing Fei and Stop the Threats have trended for days, amassing millions of shares. One fan wrote, "If they can do this to Xing Fei, a famous actress, what hope is there for ordinary people?" Another demanded, "Why is the government not exposing who is behind this? We deserve answers." The fear of kidnapping has added another layer of urgency. Police insiders leaked that intelligence suggests there were plans to lure Xing Fei into an isolated location, possibly under the guise of a work meeting, in order to abduct her. While details remain classified, the threat was considered credible enough to warrant full-time protection. Officers now accompany her to every appearance, even short errands. One officer told reporters, "Cannot risk a mistake. The threats are not empty. They are active, organized, and dangerous." Yu's family has suffered their own breaking points. His mother collapsed a second time, requiring hospital treatment after a panic attack triggered by late-night banging on their door. She reportedly cried out, "Please, leave us alone. We have already lost him." Her words became a rallying cry online, a symbol of the cruelty inflicted on a grieving family. "They are torturing the victims," one columnist wrote. "Not justice. This is terror." So who stands to gain from this reign of fear? Analysts point again to Yente Cultural Investment Group, conglomerate with a reputation for controlling actors like assets. Others whisper about shadow financiers tied to gambling syndicates, worried that further revelations about Yu's death could expose their reach into the entertainment world. Theories abound, but one detail is constant: these forces are powerful enough to intimidate a family under police protection, and wealthy enough to carry out harassment without leaving a trace. Investigative journalist, speaking under condition of anonymity, offered a stark assessment: "This is not about silencing gossip. This is about suppressing evidence. If Yu's family or Xing Fei knows something that can connect the dots between his death and certain financial backers, then those backers have everything to lose. They cannot afford loose ends." Public reaction has become impossible to ignore. Protests have begun forming outside government offices, with fans holding signs demanding justice and accountability. International media outlets from London to New York now run daily coverage of the case. CNN called it a chilling reminder of the price of silence in the entertainment industry, while the BBC warned, "This is no longer a story of one man's death, but of systemic corruption and the lengths to which it will go to protect itself." The Beijing Municipal Public Security Bureau continues to walk a careful line. Their official statement insists, investigating credible threats against the family of Yu Menglong and Ms. Xing Fei. Our officers are providing around-the-clock protection. We will pursue all leads. But critics argue that the investigation is moving too slowly, that the authorities are reluctant to confront the true powers at play. One police officer, speaking quietly to a reporter, admitted the frustration inside the force: "We know this is organized. We know who benefits from the silence. The problem is that these people have influence, money, and protection of their own. Going after them is not simple. Playing a dangerous game." The chilling possibility is that Yu Menglong's death was not just an accident engineered with alcohol and stimulants, but part of a much larger scheme, a scheme in which family, love, and life itself are expendable. If intimidation can reach this far, if it can target grieving parents and a beloved actress, then the truth behind Yu's death must be bigger than anyone dares to speak. The article closes with the haunting words of Xing Fei herself, spoken to a close friend and leaked to the press: "I don't know how much longer I can endure this. I loved him once. And now, even in his death, I feel I am paying the price. If something happens to me, promise me the world will know it was because I refused to stay silent." Her plea now echoes beyond borders. Reminder that this is no longer only about Yu Menglong, about truth itself, and the war waged by those who fear it.